Hello friends, welcome to my channel. This is the Queen of Wands and today we'll be doing a reading for Aquarius for the month of May 2024. And what is the message that the Spirit had for Aquarius? So we're gonna pick 3 cards and the past, present and future. So the past, we got 3 of Wands. That's a beautiful card. It's this is in the past position, but it talks about the future. So it's something that is in the making. There are some plans that have been already established, and there is some planning that has been already taken place from the recent past. Okay, we're gonna get back to that. We have the present card. Okay, Page of Cups. Okay, it's a beautiful card of love and very genuine love, and it says there, I love you. There's a lot of paintings with this deck. It's like a lot of brushes and paintings and art, and a very very genuine way. It's like and there is also the 7 of coins with this card attached to it. We'll talk about that too. And the future for Aquarius, we have another page. Oh wow, Page of Swords. And in the bottom of the deck we got the star. Oh, I love this one. This looks like my niece, or like me when I was a kid. But it reminds me of my niece, the star. So okay, so let's read a bit about the past for Aquarius. So there is some big visions, some big plans for the future that is already taking place, and either by you but there could be other people involved. It's like a common goal for the future, for something to that is still on the horizon. It's still a long way, but you have determination, and you are like there's something that it could work, but it takes cooperation, it's saying here. And it takes there is one person leading the team and the other 2 are following him. So he has a plan and he has a strategy, and he said, and he knows the path. And with these 2 dogs, and there is also the birds, and they look like eagles, and they lead them the way. There is also a plane here, like again far away into the future, but that are taking steps now. So they are walking in these cold mountains here. It could be somebody that actually likes to hike, by the way. Their hobby is hiking, or in the park, or in either Mount Everest, or they like to challenge themselves, and they go for some sort of a bit of extreme sports. That could be something else. But okay, they have backpacks. They are pretty equipped for this. It's like they've done this before, but that was in the past. So I don't know if that from the past they took initiative, planning, strategizing, and it never got that far. But it's saying now, let's look at the present, because now in the present there is hope. With the Page of Cups, there is love, And it's like, it's a bit of a crush here. With the Seven of Pentacles, it's like things are put on display, but it's like if you're painting something, you're doing something, you put it at the Seven of Pentacles, like waiting for something to happen, but you're like, you don't even know what to wait for. And somebody's offering money here. He said, oh, you get some nice, paintings there. I want to buy something. I don't know, whatever she said, pillows or anything. But she's like not even focused, because for her it's not about the money here. She doesn't care to make money out of this. She finds joy like a little kid in doing what makes her happy. And these little paintings or sewing or drawing or anything, it brings some sort of any type of crafts, right? Brings some sort of a joy. She does that for no ulterior motives, but just for her own pure satisfaction. So in regards to love, it could be that there's no hidden motives here. Maybe in the past, somebody could even think that somebody is planning and strategizing, and it's like when somebody thinks that, oh, you're too calculating, you know every move because you want it to go this and this. Well, it depends. For some people, you need to plan and strategize and see where it goes. And for some people, if you stop planning and just focusing in the present and enjoy what you're doing, things will happen organically, I am assuming. But there is a lot of love. Somebody has a crush on you, but here it says, I love you. So practically that painting, it says, I love you. That's what it's saying. And it's a bit of a state of daydreaming here, because I also have this vibe that somebody like to daydream about things. You know, if somebody said, well, here I am, here, I'm offering you something, I'm offering you this love. Somebody just wants to be in the head, even though the Pentacles is not exactly that. Somebody maybe just sits and daydreams, but does nothing about it. That's another thing, right? They like just to talk about it, but there's no actual actions. There is this crush. There is this a bit of a immature kind of love and crush, but there's no real actions to it because somebody likes to daydream. But here in the past, it says that there was some action being taken. Maybe to some, when they tried that in the past, it backfired them and it didn't go well. But this is the present, and it's saying that whatever action that were taken, it did bear its fruit, because now there's love and the feeling is there. There might not be actual physical movements and actions to it, but the love and the feelings are there. With the mind and the heart is there. Is saying it needs to be expressed more, maybe, but there is some actions that are already being taken towards this maturing this love, because this is a bit immature here for some reasons. And now in the future we still have another immature card. Pages are also about lessons and learning and exploring. You see the Page of Swords is fascinating in little things, even like studying the animals, the birds or the flowers, or being in touch with nature. That's the future. So Page of Swords in the future is saying that be curious, Be curious about everything in life and be fascinated and be a child again with everything that fascinates you. If it says you're a bit in your head right now with all this daydreaming, but you are not just daydreaming, because everything that you fantasize or you dream about or you're curious about, you actually go and explore that. So if it's a person that you're curious about, well, you have to go talk to them, because swords are communication. So the only way to know somebody well is to actually directly ask them questions, like a child. Ask naive questions, but they're honest and they're straightforward. There's no mind games with pages. They're too innocent. So you got to go back to that moment of innocence. Yeah, that's what he's saying. The present and the future. Pages are very innocent cards. They express the love in very genuine, without any expectations. So you got to go back to that moment when there's no fears, there's no expectations. You're curious about getting to know and understand your feelings and other person's feelings, and exploring, and also asking questions, so you better understand the person's personality. Or I learned from my experience that yes, you do direct question to get the answer, but sometimes you understand people, especially for adults. People better how they work in a professional environment, in a work environment. That's how you get to know people. Asking their co-workers, but that's hard, because especially if you are in a long distance connection, like the star is Aquarius, rules Aquarius. So the friendship is a long distance friendship. It's hard to build that connection stronger, because there's the distant communication makes it hard to really connect. That's the thing. So you gotta let go of the ego, and you gotta express your curiosity, because if you're too restricted, you never learn much about somebody. I see here a mother with a child, and there's a father in the background, I think. And these parents, they let their kid explore everything in life that is fascinating to explore, from the flowers, the snail here, the birds, everything. So he develops without any, also to explore themselves. What do they want? What do they like? What do their dislikes, right? By building a character, a personality, by not feeling intimidated that of their likes and dislikes, and to express that. There is a porcupine in the bottom. I mean, that's a bit of a warning. When you get too curious, be careful. Because it's like when you stick your nose in other people's business, that's another one, that's another thing. So you got to know your healthy boundaries, and also do not take for granted other people's kindness and generosity, and giving you the space to be curious, or to be demanding, or have expectations of that's another thing. Even in your relationship, the healthy boundaries are important. Even in a long distance connection, it's important that don't take friendships or any type of connection for granted. Now let's focus a bit on the star. But I'm loving this card so much. Look at this beautiful card. The Page of Cups is like a pure love. It's such an innocent love. When you find joy in some little things like crafts, right? And that's how you express your love for somebody. Now, the Star. This is a person who carries healing qualities. It's about rejuvenation. It's about recovering. It's about healing. It comes after the Tower, so some traumatic events that are being overcome. And but this person, it's an Aquarius again. They love to be to help others by sharing their story and their pain. This child carries the badge of the sheriff. It's like she has earned it. It's like some sort of a degree that, you know what, I've earned this because I've had a very painful childhood. So because of my pain, I know what it's like, and there is compassion now. You lend a hand. But I feel like she picks and chooses who she gives and lends this hand. So it can be you, Aquarius, that do not stretch yourself too thin, because people will drain your energy. So you who decide who becomes your friend, or for a certain moment you assist somebody. It can be in work or in some social settings, when you decide to approach somebody and get to know somebody and build a friendship, right? Because a lot of people here, they will take your generosity and kindness for granted. Again, also in love, it's important to not be taken for granted, and never take the other party for granted, because again, we all know that saying that is nobody's responsibility and accountability for your own happiness. We know that. But in the same time, when two people start to build a connection, it's important to always share, show respect, okay? And when there's always respect and kindness, I don't think there is bitterness, because I think from my personal experience, bitterness comes when you feel disrespected, and it starts to happen over and over and again, and it starts being taken advantage, because people think that you do that as a form of validation of being accepted, but that's not true. You find joy in simply doing things that genuinely make you happy, but people feel they do that because you need people around. But you can have some sort of connection and friendship from the distance, and Aquarius is so good at that, keeping a bit people at arm's length. So you're saying that I don't necessarily need to have people physically here, but I pick and choose who I want to get closer, and I want to give myself and them a chance to get to know me better, right? That's why. But it's a beautiful combination. So there is hope for this connection, strong hope, to become a strong foundation for a strong friendship. And I think if you're hoping this to become something more, and in a love connection to transform into a love partnership, what a beautiful way to start with friendship, right? Because you get to know all sides of yourself, each other's, even those shadow side of yourselves, and you get to understand that, and maybe take it more lighthearted perspective once you get to know somebody and you say, okay, you know what, maybe this person was a bit on a bad mood, but I've seen that person on their worst, and it doesn't get worse than this, and this is it, and I can take care. I can deal with that. You know what I mean? And that's beautiful, because that's what friendship gives, that opportunity to see yourself in all those, in that state when you're like on your bended knees practically here, crying for help. So that's why this person has carried the badge, because she's been there, she's overcome there, and she's got a hand to lend, and feed you with love, unconditional love, and so then you flourish this into something much more stronger, into more stronger bond. That's a beautiful connection.